Clay, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And as they say in Stoic, the obstacle is the way. And so if you let these pinheads get in your way, you're in trouble. Acta non verba is the motto of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point, New York. I had appointments to Naval Academy and Kings Point Merchant Marine Academy. And Merchant Marine Academy's motto was acta non verba. In other words, don't listen to what a person says. Watch what they do. Clay, my honor to be on your show. And thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learn from you. So congratulations.
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas. We have probably grown probably 5 times. We've added, I think when we first started with you, we had 60 to 65 employees. And now we have a little over 300 employees. Before we got involved with Thrive Time, we didn't really have any systems or processes in place. I've probably been to, in 6-7 years, I've probably been to 12 to 13 business conferences. And amazingly, each time I go, I learn something new, and I'm so excited to bring it back and show the team about marketing and how to implement, how to help you guys implement the SEO. And the coaching is just great because there's accountability, and it's just a fantastic way to grow your company. Having a relationship with Thrive Time it's just been amazing for MultiClean. Oh my goodness, it frees me up because then I don't have to take a class on search engine optimization or learn marketing or shoot video. That's not what we do. What we do is commercial janitorial service. And you guys are the experts on marketing, and you teach me and hold my hand and show me how to do it right. And therefore, now my company is much, much larger.
Folks, on today's show, we're joined by a real client. He may look like a male model. He may look like a hologram, but he's a real person. He's a longtime client. He's a man that we consider to be a friend of the Thrive Time Show and a friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Kevin. Welcome onto the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Clay, I'm doing great. Had a great Christmas holiday, and I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so first question, can you tell us what is your name, first and last name, and what's the name of your company, sir?
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas.
And how long have we worked with you approximately at this point, sir?
It's been about 6-7 years.
Welcome back to the Mel K Show. My bestest pal, Clay Clark, is back with us. And Rob and I are excited. We have the upcoming business conference. More and more people are joining and coming. It's going to be amazing. I hope everyone will be there. In the meantime, Clay is here to make America rich again, one small business at a time. He is the best of the best, and he is our business coach as well. Thank you for joining me, Clay Clark.
Mel, first off, thank you so much for allowing me to be here on your show today. And I want people to know this. If you're watching today's show, I am not saying this to name drop. I'm saying this because this is a real drop of information. I talked to a guy today. He's a doctor from Minnesota, a great guy. Okay. And he is unbelievably excited to come to the business workshop. He's not a household name, but he's doubled the size of his company here over the past 2 years. Then that's incrementally every week. He's been working. He came to a conference 2 years ago. He's doubled the size of his company. He's also one of the doctors in America who stood up against the lockdowns. That's a true story. Then my next call today, I was on the phone with Eric Trump today. I can tell your listeners this because it will be announced. I've been working with Eric on his new book, and he's going to be announcing the title and the book sometime today. So whether you're an Eric Trump or you're a doctor in Minnesota, we can help you. But I need you, if you're watching today's show, I need you to help yourself. So I need you to grab a pen and a pad and prepare to mentally enter into the lab and the dojo of Mojo. Fosho. Okay, so we're going to do this thing together, and let me pull this up real quick here so we can get a couple of housekeeping notes out here, Mel, because we've got this conference coming up.
I want to mention something too. I have two friends coming from Hollywood, a comedy writer and a producer that are coming to your event because they want to learn how to basically decentralize themselves from Hollywood and create their own business with their own backgrounds and talent. And they've been watching our shows that we're talking about, empowering people to empower themselves, to take control, to build their businesses, to figure out how to be their own moneymaker and their own boss. And to see a couple people from Hollywood coming to meet us in September at your event is pretty exciting to me.
Well, and there's to pile on that with the artistic folks. There's a guy from a Juilliard, he's from the Juilliard school there.
Yeah,
he's classically trained musician. And basically he was like, man, I want to own my own business. I've never done it before. This is a true story. We started working with him about 6 months ago, and he's now to a place where he's replaced his job, which was a soul-sucking corporate kind of job. And now he's self-employed. He's now replaced his income. So he's making as much money as he used to make in the soul-sucking corporate America. But now he has his own music school he started right there in Texas.
Oh,
so again,
awesome.
These are real people coming to a real conference. I want to pull this up here, folks. If you go to thrivetimeshow.com, the upcoming conference is September 25 and 26, September 25 and 26. If you want to get tickets, you can text the number 918-851-0102, 918-851-0102. But I want the listeners out there to know we are adding on right now additional seating. As we speak right now, lumber is being delivered. They're adding on more seating. Every seat has been sold, and so we got to get a few more people in now. So we have 7 tickets left because we're adding on. I did the math. We can fit 7 more people in. So if you want to come join us, go to thrivetimeshow.com. It's September 25 and 26. Eric Trump will be in the house. It's going to be a great event. Mel K, you're going to be here. Amanda Grace is going to be here. Dr. Stella Emanuel, Pastor Dave Scarlett. And this couple right here, Bronson and Ashley Schubert, he's now the 44th highest ranked insurance agent in America. He now has 7 kids. He's bought his dream ranch. He started out with me, 7-8 years ago as an insurance agent, was struggling to gain traction. Now he's the 44th highest earning insurance agent. He's a State Farm agent, very successful. So, I mean, it's going to be packed with names, and Mel, I want to play a brief clip here. I'm so super excited. These people, the company's called Givaderm, and they came to the Reawaken event.
Yep.
And I think they gave a skincare sample to you, and my wife, and I know nothing about skincare. Clearly, I look like Yoda. I get
awesome.
it. I gave it to my wife, and my wife was like, "This is really good. Like this is some good. This is some good stuff." And I'm going, so I brought these ladies backstage. I said, Vanessa, these folks here. I kind of made some connection there. And my wife loves the product, and they said, "Could you coach us? We're a startup." And I'm going, startups, I can do it, but are you ready to board the rocket ship? Theoretically speaking, I don't know that we went to the moon, but anyway. So, are you ready to get on the fast track? And they said yes. So here's their story. First, just 30-second story. Here we go.
4,000% from February to February. Now I can better that. Okay, Clay. I don't think you know this. I don't think you know this. I'm pinching myself, and if I cry, forgive me. In the last 2.5 days, we have bettered our entire month of February.
Wow.
In the last 2.5 days.
So more money in 2 days than they were doing in a previous month. The company's called Givaderm. They're wonderful people. And I'm just telling you, my wife's met them. The product's wife approved. They're helping people. They're great people, a great story. And Mel, I couldn't be more excited for your audience to get to know these guys a little bit more.
Well, we have a little treat because the ladies actually had some free time today, and they're going to join us right now. I also want to say that
me and Rob and Emma, we love Givaderm. My skin has changed so dramatically in such a positive sense that I did not even know, and I can't even believe it. My skin looks like it's 10 years younger than it was before I started the 5-step program that I use every day. Rob uses it as well, and it actually, I had some weird dry spots for my whole life. They would never go away, and now they have disappeared. So there's a lot going on. We
even my mother loves it.
Yeah.
Actually.
So let's bring in our pals. Here we go.
Picky. Let's bring in the ladies. Here we go.
Feeling the flow.
See if they're
working it.
Let's see if they're
the connection
ready to rock and roll.
Hello. We
Hi,
are ready
ladies.
to
The
rock
Give It Up
and roll.
gals.
We are. We were so ready.
Hi guys. Hi guys.
How are you?
Hi.
You know,
So
Mel,
everyone, these
Yeah.
are our new skincare gurus. We have worked with them for many, many months, but they are now our whole skincare household is Give a Derm, including for our puppy. And we are so
Yes.
excited to have you guys here. Why don't you guys introduce yourself, and then we're gonna get like Clay and you guys take the lead.
Hi, Clay. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Well, we're Give a Derm mother, daughter, Deborah, Juliana, and we make natural, non-toxic skincare.
There
So
you go.
and there's a reason for it because the beginning. I got very sick from normal skincare, and then found out that what goes on your body got on your skin goes in your body, and
Yeah.
it was real because it costs us, my family, a lot.
A lot of money, a lot
yeah.
of, I mean,
Heartache, all this stuff. So we needed something natural. We found it, and here we are.
yeah. It was an intense process. Honestly, she was super sick.
Oh, wow.
She was in a very, very bleak place. And to understand that skincare and misdiagnosis of broad spectrum chemo cream actually led to her plummeting health wise, and it was really hard to see it
very
as her
serious.
daughter, and kind of like trying to intervene and do what I can. And so really our whole thing is the story of redemption, because it's about, moving through something, seeing that there's really not anything that meets the standards that we believe should be out there. And so
Yeah.
at that point, when we locked arms with a like-minded formulator, moved through it and created formulas that made sense. And so really what we're trying to do now is as much educate people about just being label readers, just like getting out there and looking at it.
Remove the
And
toxins from your life.
there's
Yeah.
enough. I mean, Google, you can Google a lot of things. And so just make sure that, make sure that, that your liver is not going to be affected by this, or, XYZ.
Right.
So it's been quite a journey, and we have we truly have incredible formulas and products.
And they work.
And they
work. Look at Mel.
beautifully.
Look at
Yeah, I
Mel.
mean,
Look at
you
Rob.
guys.
See, you guys, right?
True.
Yeah. And then we were sort of dead in the water, to be honest with you. We had this incredible, there it is. Yay. We were kind of dead in the water.
Knew we had a good product.
Fabulous. Like, how do we get this out there? Mom looks at me super late at night and said,
2 a.m. maybe.
I think we need to contact Clay Clark, because I keep seeing he does these things.
And I'm the introvert.
And
I'm
I'm
the
like,
introvert. So
okay.
it was a
And
shocking.
let me explain how fast I in about 25 seconds, I filled out the form on Thrive Time show. And
She was like,
and I was like, we're not letting any gaps happen here. Okay, so boom, done. And then like the next day, we get a call. So and
here we are.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, like, we have this Clay's well-worn paths to success, and we just get to kind of march along behind him and go, oh, okay, well, sure, we're gonna do that. And then
Can I brag for a minute?
Yes.
Can I brag
Yeah.
on our favorite dude, Clay Clark?
Yeah.
Last year we grew 10 times under
Right.
his shepherdship. If that's
Yeah,
a
he's
word.
amazing.
If that's a word, shepherdship.
I think it is. I think it should be a Clay word. I think it should be designated for Clay. But
Okay.
yeah, so and then we met you guys, and
Oh boy.
then there was
boy.
shock and awe there. I was like,
Yeah,
oh my
that's
God.
right. I remember.
It's okay, what?
So we're not worthy.
So,
We're not worthy.
yeah, it was great. It was great. It was so fun. It was so fun. I don't know what I don't know who I was expecting, but it was not you. And I was like, hi, hi. It was just great. It was a
I
fun.
remember meeting you guys in the hallway, and you had your
Yes.
baggies, and Clay said, "No, you just got to meet these people. Come on, come here."
Yeah.
It was
And then
amazing.
you guys didn't know who you were meeting, right? And
No,
that was
I
on
mean,
the Reawaken tour, and
Right.
that's when all the magic happens. Now we're
So
living
real.
through this Maha moment, right? We saw
Yes.
most recently RFK Jr. getting grilled like he
Boy,
was
oh
a
boy, oh
criminal
boy.
trying to save lives, right? And
Yeah.
what a lot of people don't understand is that the same thing that's going on in our food and in our environment
Right.
Exactly.
is going on 10 times worse
Right.
in cosmetics, because they're not regulated,
Regulated.
not at
Correct.
all. And
That's right.
the largest, organ in your body is your skin.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
there's a reason why they have these transdermal patches and you can there's
Right.
topicals, because your skin takes in all this stuff. So if you have all these heavy metals and other toxic things that are in your products, which like probably 99.998% of the products
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
filled with things that are very
That's real.
Right.
unhealthy. And so, we always look for solutions. And, thank you, Clay. Thank you, ladies. And
Let's go to Clay. Clay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Clay,
baby. Yeah,
well,
baby.
what do you got there, my friend?
Well, this is exciting stuff here. I honestly could not be more excited about this because this is what's so fun. I'm at the Reawaken tour, and it was the first event that Mel, you came to, and I'd been trying to get a hold of Mel to invite her. And it's like, there's so many people that, are they relevant? Are they accurate? And over time, I kept going, man, Mel K is on it. She's just consistently puts out the facts. I got to get her to speak at the Reawaken. So I was super excited when Mel, you came to the event. But when I invited you to speak, a lot of your wonderful listeners came to the Reawaken tour. And so it's always fun meeting real people because you do a show like this, but do you meet the real people? Meeting the real people is like the reward if you're a podcaster, but meeting all of Mel's friends, that was a highlight for me. And then we were in Oregon, I think the entire after party or the entire meet and greet was Mel K listeners. So I love meeting real people. That's I just want to get that out there.
Real.
But if you're watching today's show and you say, how can I grow a successful company? I'm going to teach you how to do it, but I'm going to use Givaderm as an example, kind of a case study of how to do it. So step one, what we're going to do, I want everyone to write down, there's 5 steps. And I want you to write this down, folks. Okay. Step number 1. So let's picture your business as a game, like we're playing the game of football or some sport. Okay. Think about just go with this analogy. Think about running a successful company is like playing a game. All right. So step number 1, what you want to do is you want to define what winning looks like. And I'm just telling you about a conversation I had with Eric this morning, Eric Trump, because I'm working on his project. And Eric says to me, he says, hey, this is what winning looks like to me. And I'll tell you, this is a true story. Eric wants to raise a lot of money for St. Jude. That's a charity he's involved in. He's very excited to talk about St. Jude's. He can't really wrap up any interview without talking about it. So he views his book as an opportunity to raise money for the St. Jude's Hospital. So that's a real thing. That's a real goal. So we want to be able to raise X amount of dollars for St. Jude's. That's what winning looks like. Now, if you're watching today's show and you own a business, what does winning look like? So for Givaderm, winning looks like this. Are we providing a great product that helps people? That's 1. 2, Are we making a profit? Because this just in, we got bills to pay, kids to feed, grandkids, kids to take care of, everybody out there. We got to buy groceries, car payments, whatever. So step 1, are we making a great product that we are proud of, a great service that we're proud of? And step 2 is, are we making a profit? So I want to ask the question, if I can here, to Deborah. Deborah, winning, how important is it to you, and kind of a 30-second recap, how important is it for you to make a product that you're proud of?
It's like everything to me, because I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't realize the value. I was not the kid that wanted to be the owner of a skincare company, but I know the need. I experienced it, and I feel for our customers, and it is vital to me.
So I want to ask you, Mel, the same question. Now, kind of, again, what does winning look like? Step 1, you have to make a product or a service you're proud of. I know that's how you view your podcast. But then you also have to pay the bills. There's got to be, and that's the part that you guys, Givaderm, not a backhanded compliment, and that's the part you, Mel, that's the part that all 3 of you don't really, that's not a big priority in your life. Is, you're not doing the show to make money. You're not making the product to make money, but you do have to make money in order to get the product out there. Mel, can you talk about the balance of that? You're focusing on trying to produce this great podcast to reach the nation, to share the truth, to explain what's really going on, the stuff behind the stuff. But at the end of the day, the microphones cost money, booking guests cost money, traveling to the events cost money. Can you talk about how you've kind of wrestled with that, Mel?
Well, for me, as you said, I never in a million years thought that this would be part of what I'm doing, as Deborah and Juliana didn't either. But the truth is that I knew, because of my former career that so much of the history that is factual has been erased, or we've been lied to about how things really happened, or what the cost to the American taxpayer or the American people has been, particularly since World War II. And I found all these different dots, and I saw that maybe I could connect them in a way that every American, regardless of education or background or anything else, could look at it and say, oh my God, we are all on the same team. We all got equally lied to, deceived, betrayed, looted, everything else. So for me, I was so excited to tell people, listen, all this division is nothing compared to what we all have faced together as American citizens, taxpayers, all of that. So for me, that happened. And then as time went on, and you know, we started during the lockdowns and COVID, I just realized that there was a market for what I was talking about, because a lot of people did realize that much of what they've learned, or what they thought to be true over time, became clear that it was manipulation or propaganda. And people wanted to know, well, what is true? And so I feel that my whole job, my show, everything I do is empowering people to empower themselves with knowledge and truth.
That's right.
To then become, a force for good, a game changer in the right direction for liberty and privacy and prosperity and all the promises of America, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. Tell people that they have power. The whole goal for the last 50 years in America from the overlords has been to convince the American people that, in fact, they don't have power, and this is not a country by the people for the people, and there's nothing they can do. And I was motivated by that. And then, of course, like you said, how do you make money doing a podcast?
Yeah. So
and being able to do that, since my end goal is really to have a full, and I wrote Americans Anonymous because I wanted to start there and say, we've hit rock bottom. Our country is as sick as its secrets. Let's start the recovery process, one citizen at a time, create groups of like-minded folks, which you did with the Reawaken, and take that, to the next level. And frankly, you really had to come in at some point, because early on it was great, but then what happened? I got kicked off of YouTube in 2020. That is how a lot of people monetize. We were demonetized first, me and Dr. Zelenko, and then after kicked off completely, not allowed back on, kicked off X, not allowed back on, kicked off everything. And a lot of monetization channels went away. So I had to think different. I had to look and say, and that's when I went to your first business conference, and basically started implementing things that would lead me to the success of empowering, I would hope, thousands of people to decide that, in fact, they do have power, that they can live the Constitution and Bill of Rights, and that they, in fact, can have the spirit of America and the founders still today if they choose it. And that is my end goal. And I think that it's worked out. We have, over 500,000 subscribers. We got, I know that I'm seen all over the world.
Great partners like Give
Great partners like Givaderm. But if you didn't put us together with great partners that you also believed in, that also aligned with my mission, then this wouldn't have worked.
It was definitely mission first. So we had this mission. We were pissed off. We were locked down, and Mel has a voice.
Boy,
and that voice just resonated. And then we joined the tour, and the voice continued to grow. And then we realized we're on the road all the time. No one is ever going to hire us again. We better figure out how to pay rent and do the food thing, and other basic necessities, and
Absolutely.
thank you, Clay, for helping us with
Yes.
that.
Now, I'll say this, folks. Now, step number 2, picture this like it's a game, folks. So step number 1, what does winning look like? Get excited about it. You say, how do I know? If it keeps you up at night and it wakes you up early, that's how you know if you found something. So, folks, I'm being real. I went to bed at 9:00 last night, and I set my alarm at 3 this morning. And when I wake up, it's 3, but I'm like excited about the day. I wake up earlier than I want to, but I can't wait to come to work. There's that balance, because I need to sleep, right? But I am so excited about the final preparations for the conference. I'm so excited about Givaderm. I'm so excited. So step number 2, though, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and create your MVP. Okay. Follow this analogy, folks, the MVP. In sports, it's the most valuable player. In business, it's called a minimally viable product. Now, I'm going to give you a lot of examples coming 90 miles an hour, but here we go. So the first one, I remember when I first started DJing, I'm going to go to my Dropbox so you can see this. When I first started DJing, I had to do hand painted vans. And you say, hand painted vans? Did you hand paint your vans? I had to because I couldn't afford auto wraps. These are my vehicles. So
Wow. Awesome.
I hand painted. So people were like, dude, where'd you get that paint job? And I'm like, well, I painted it myself. And they're like, okay, so people would say, man, that paint job is horrible. I'm like, yeah, or it's great or whatever. But so that's a 1989 Ford Escort. I couldn't afford anything else. So I just bought that thing and I hand painted it. So again, you've got to start. This is my dad, my dad over here, my dad, may he rest in peace. Yeah. He's like, dear God, what has my son done to his Escort? But this is what I would do. And so when I went onto the campus of Oral Roberts University, all these people were going, what vehicle is that? Who has hand-painted vans? What college freshman has hand-painted vehicles in the parking lot? Well, guess what? Everybody knew who I was on campus. So I promoted dance parties, people showed up. So I had to start with what the tools I had, a minimally viable product. I'm working at Applebee's, Target, DirecTV, so I can pay the bills. I literally am working at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV. So give it to them. We're talking about Juliana here. We're talking about Deborah. They're going, hey, we have this great product. We believe in it. And I go, okay, what we got to do is, is your product terrible? Tell me, is your product terrible? Tell me, just be honest. Tell me. And they go, no. You gave a sample to your wife. You need to ask her. So I call my wife. I'm not on a recorded line. I'm not calling for a show. I said, babe, giveitderm.com. These guys, giveitderm.com. Do you actually like the product? We've been married 24 years. We have 5 kids. She goes, oh, it's the best. And I'm going, oh, come on now. That's on. It's the green light. So I reach out to you ladies. I'm like, this is a good fit. If my wife believes in it, she's super discerning about eating healthy, putting good things on her skin, et cetera. So, but we had to start. And that's the one thing I want to go to Deborah on this. We had to start. Mm-hmm. At some point you have to start. So kind of for sake of time, 30 seconds or less, talk to the listeners out there. At some point you got to start. But the website wasn't perfect. The print pieces weren't perfect. The packaging wasn't perfect, but you had to start. The enemy of done is perfect. Deborah, talk about that decision to get started.
Well, there are 2 starts. There was the one with you and the one without you.
Yep.
So the one without you, I lost my husband in 2020, the whole COVID mess. And 2 weeks after that, we have kind of funny names, like our oxygenating scrub, which is actually one of our gifts with purchase. It was the trademark. It's called Scrub Your Ash Off. And the trademark we had 2 weeks or we lost it. So it was an intense time of grief. We had to sink or swim. So we had to start there. Then we were dead in the water, like Juliana said. And we're like, what are we going to do? And honestly, I really didn't want to go to work anywhere else. So Juliana called Clay. And that was the second start.
I want to make sure, because I want to make sure we get through all of this stack of stuff. So we got to keep the intensity here, but I want to make sure we get this. Juliana, I want to ask you the same question real quick here, because this is what's crazy. I believe you said you had to.
That's right.
My kids hear this all the time from me, and it might be pretty morbid, but my kids every day, they say, Dad, what are you doing today? And I got this massive to-do list. And every once in a while, someone will ask me, why do you have to get it all done today? I said, because I might die tonight. And I live like that. I'm not kidding. It's that kind of urgency.
Right.
And that's how you get it done. And you've got to have that sense of urgency, or your dreams drift into a dystopian, kind of a junk drawer of jackassery. So I want to go to you, Juliana. When you teamed up with our team, and specifically, Andrew works with you every week. Can you talk about the kind of intensity that Andrew or the team have as far as just knocking stuff out that could take a month to get it done this week?
Well, they carry your momentum, okay? Because your momentum, trickles downhill, so to speak. And so it doesn't matter if it's 7 p.m. or 1 a.m. before our coach call. I will absolutely nail down those numbers to make sure that we have a tracking sheet. There's just, there's a regimen, like a pattern that you just have to keep going and keep checking off your checklist. And sometimes it can feel overwhelming, but I think just knowing that when we started working with you, you provided the trail of breadcrumbs to success, and you still do.
Yes.
And so it's like, okay, I don't understand it, but I'm eating this trail of bread. I'm like eating this bread right now, and we're going to go to the next one. I'm going to eat that. It's going to be great. I don't understand it. I don't understand what it's made of. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to keep going. And because you've done this, right? This is a well-worn path for you. So I just decided we were going to trust the process, because Mom doesn't normally look at me late at night and go, I think we're supposed to contact Clay Clark. I'm like, okay, we're done.
Overwhelmed
you
and
know?
intimidated. That's
Well,
where I was.
Within
Yeah.
within the first interaction, you said, I think you need to come to Idaho and get in front of 6,000 people. And I was like, I looked at mom, I was like, nope, we can't do that. And she goes,
Role
we
reversal.
must.
I said, we
And I
have
was like,
to.
okay.
Now, let me pull this up real quick here because this is important. Okay. So tomorrow at 6 a.m., I meet with Jake. Jake, that's his phone number. Hopefully everybody enjoys that phone number. And then Randy, meet with Randy at 7, meet with Amanda at 8. I meet with Kelly at 9, I meet with Jen at 10, meet with Nathan at 11. 12, I'm working on the business conference schedule. 3, I'm meeting with Eric, as I was mentioning to you guys. And it's boom, 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 boom. And what gets scheduled gets done. And someone should write that down. What gets scheduled gets done. So we move on to step 3. So again, thinking about game analogy. Step 1, define what winning looks like. Step number 2, create that minimally viable product. Step number 3, you got to make an offensive game plan. Conservatives, I love you because you're conservative. You don't want to change the Constitution. You don't want to edit the Bible. I'm conservative. You're conservative. We seek the truth. Regardless of whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, if you seek the truth, you're somebody who's a little bit worried about changing the Constitution. That's your mindset. So some of you guys who are conservative, which I consider myself to be a libertarian kind of conservative, we do not ever want to overpromise and underdeliver because it's part of our moral thing, our moral fiber. But we have to, in addition to, we got to only say things we can prove, but we have to push our product, and that is called offense. That's the offensive part of the business. You've got to do marketing and branding and sales. And again, I was talking to the folks at Give a Derm. I remember talking to you guys. I'm like, guys, we got to get testimonials. And I remember you're going, okay, testimonials. And I remember that this isn't a backhanded compliment. There was just a little bit of a concern or pushback of like, are people going to mind if we ask them on video, or are people going to want to do that? And no, because nobody wants to. And so, but Mel, we have to get video testimonials. And that's why so many people love the Give a Derm products, giveaderm.com, is because they can see the results from people like yourself, Mel. They can see testimonials. And again, Mel, that's not a natural thing to do, to walk up to somebody who uses your product and say, could you share with me on video your feedback? But Mel, you got to step out of your comfort zone, whether you're an actor or an actress and you're seeking a job, you want to get cast for that role in that movie, you have to go on offense. And Mel, I want to get your thoughts on that. Balancing, you're trying to be a humble person. You don't want to self-promote, don't want to overhype, but you have to, at the end of the day, create your own momentum and market your product in front of your ideal and likely buyers. Yeah.
I mean, it's everything, but it's also, you have to, this goes along with the original. What does winning look like? You have to have a vision of like, what will motivate you at the same time. So I look at everything through, would I buy that? Would I want to hear that? Would I want to know that? So everything that we do is through the lens of, what is my brand? What is my, who am I marketing to? What do I hope to accomplish? And then put that all together into a package that is basically across all fronts. So social media, website, testimonials, whatever it is, that they all kind of match and they say Mel K Show. Like that, people look at it and they say,
and you gotta sell.
I'm not great at the selling.
sell
better, but
talk about that. And she hates asking for it. But you're right, Clay. Selling is not a bad word, and it's not evil. It actually fuels that's where the gas goes in the tank, and that's what drives the car.
Right, I know. It's the seller business guy, but the whole branding and marketing and everything, it's also creating a relationship with your audience and with your buyer, subscriber, or whatever, that they see something and they know that it's yours and they know that it's top quality and they know that you put effort and energy into it and they want to support you because they're getting something from it too. And it's a good experience. So they come back. So it's all connected in my mind.
Now I want to bring up this next again. Think about, folks, we're just recapping. Let's make sure everybody's learning something. Step 1, you say, what does winning look like? Okay, got it. What does winning look like? Got it. Okay. Minimally viable product. Do you have a product that actually solves problems for your ideal and likely buyers? What product are you going to create? What service will you create? What problems will you solve? Step number 3, offense. How will you get in front of your ideal and likely buyers? These are all things that we work with every single one of our business coaching clients on. Offense. Now this next step here, step number 4, it's controversial. No one likes it. It's called defense. And in sports, you hear defense wins championships. Well, in business, managing your numbers is defense. And that is a tedious task. So let me just tell you a sad story that happened 45 minutes ago. I got a longtime client who's a great guy, and he has a product. And Juliana, I want to get your thoughts on this. He has a product he sells, and it's a great service. People love it. He gets your credit card on file. He charges you for the service, whatever the service is. I'm not going to throw him under the bus. He charges you, and on the QuickBooks or on the interface he's using on the subscription portal, it shows he has 158 subscribers that are paying. However, during our coaching call today, we looked at the bank statement, and it appears as though 45 of these people are actually being charged. 45. But so he's showing I got 150 people paying, but we look at the bank statement and it's 45. And that's on today's call. And he's like, oh my God, what happened? And we're going through the numbers, and I go, that's that. But guess what is still happening? You're still paying that Indeed bill every month, the online advertising for employees. Yeah. Guess what's happening? You're still paying for your website hosting. Guess what's happening? You're still paying your lease for your business. Guess what's happening? Your employees are still being paid. So his expenses are unrelenting, but the income is drifting. And as we began to look at some of the numbers, we found out that there are people, and I'll just give a little meat to this. It's a sports education program. So it's parents take their high caliber athletes to this place so they can learn how to become college athletes. And so these are really good athletes. Well, it turns out a lot of his clients tend to be pretty wealthy people that are all into helping their kids get a scholarship. And it turns out he is owed, as of today, over $100,000 we found on his tracking sheet that hasn't been paid to him from people over the last year that have said, we're going to send it to you. It's on the way. Well, so to today's call, he's like, I don't understand how this happens. I'm like, I think it's because you think that your bookkeeper or your assistant cares. That's the problem. So I want to talk about the numbers for a second, Juliana, with your business. Why do you have to look at the numbers? And a lot of times it's painful. It's painful to look at the numbers. Why don't entrepreneurs want to look at the numbers, and why do we have to do it?
I think you really have to have the facts, and you can't just hope for the best. It is a challenge, because even with our we have a very, very trusted, amazing bookkeeper. I just told him, listen, I just want to know how to do everything, because I want you to walk through everything, because we all need to be privy to it, so that there are no dark areas, right? And so in the same way, we had something kind of similar happen. We were reviewing our margins, and we went, oh, how did this happen? We're losing like $4 per whatever on this one product. And this was just recently. We were like, how is this possible? And then we realized when we created the margin sheet, we knew what we were doing, because it was so rare. But it's the worst case scenario. If we sell one single one of this product and we have X amount of, deductions and whatever off the product, then so we went, okay. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do this, and this. Right. And so if we weren't doing that every week and analyzing it every week. And even margins don't necessarily, maybe not have to be done every week, but we should be done every month. Easily.
Now, okay, real quick. I want to go back to this real quick. So we're going to go up here. Everyone go with me right now. Everybody go with me. This is not like a televangelist kind of thing, but I do want you to try to put your hands on the screen if you can. We're going to giveaderm.com. We're putting our hands on the screen. We're trying to get everybody go there. Everybody, seriously, if you're watching this, you have an iPad. Trust me, I'm all about engagement. Everybody touch the screen, go to giveaderm.com. You go there, and if you buy something, so we're going to click on shop now, okay? And Mel, we have promo code, I believe Mel K is how we get a discount.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're using promo code Mel K. But what we do is we buy something. Juliana and Deborah had to do the math. They had to say, okay, how can we compensate the show host, in this case Mel K, for marketing our product, and then how can we make a profit? Now, let me give you an example. If you go to Nike.com, let me tell you who's not going to advertise on the Thrive Time show or the Mel K show. Nike.com. You know why? Because these are massive corporations, and they have an agenda, and that agenda is going to be, they're going to want to push the world a certain direction. Okay. So if you look at Pfizer, guess who's not going to advertise on the Mel K show? By the way, Mel wouldn't have them anyway. Pfizer. Okay. Yeah. But these multinational globalist organizations and corporations, They are going to throw millions of dollars. Recently, Mel, I've seen a lot of conservative podcasts, and I hate to say it, I won't mention names, that are telling me, Clay, I'm now pitching products I don't even believe in because I'm getting offered $50,000 a month, 1 year guarantee to pitch something. I'm going, are you serious? Like, I can't pay the bills. So I'm just trying to explain this within the model that we've introduced for Givaderm. Givaderm offers a great product, but then they team up with people like Mel K. So you go here to shop now. But again, they had to do the math and figure out what's a way we could compensate Mel if someone buys something and also give the listeners a discount. How do we do that? So when you think about people that are, if you might listen to your favorite podcast, maybe you love Mel K show, and maybe you dabble once a month, you go check out what Dan Bongino's talking about, or maybe you go listen to Glenn Beck once a year or something. Well, if you go listen to these podcasts, they'll say, use yada yada VPN and use promo code Glenn Beck or whatever. And what that does is that supports the Glenn Beck show. So again, these numbers have to work. And I would just say if there's an area where entrepreneurs get stuck, it's the numbers. Every entrepreneur that I know, they do not want to look at these numbers, and I don't quite understand it. Deborah, do you have any thoughts? Why are again, I'm not talking about you necessarily. I'm talking about every client I've ever worked with. I'm talking about Shaw Homes. We helped them grow the largest home building company in Oklahoma. Yeah. I'm talking about Grill Blazer. This is a majorly successful company. Nobody's going, oh yeah, business coach, take me to the numbers. That's what I want to talk about. Why is that, Deborah?
Well, if I can be a little crass, I think that it's like looking at yourself naked. You don't really want to do it because that's the reality. And you're hoping for the best. You're hoping for the best. You're hoping it's not real, but it's right in front of you. And it is hard because there are weeks that we have a red week, then we have a green week, then we have a green week, but you don't want to see that red week, but you have to. Otherwise you always say, Clay, numbers don't lie.
Yep.
And so that's why you have to, otherwise you're going to kind of be walking around in deception.
Yeah.
So,
let me tell you this. We have a longtime client we work with, Mel, that builds things. I'll be vague about what they do. I'm just trying to give people examples, but I'm not trying to throw people under the bus. And they build a lot of things. I mean, huge things. They're a contractor. And on their income and expense sheet this week, they had a huge income. And I'm going, that is so great. And I'm like, did that money actually come in the bank? And this is a longtime client. He's like, well, yeah, I go, it's a huge amount. We look, sure enough, the money never came in. So he got a huge order, and for whatever reason, the money didn't clear, the bank didn't clear, the check didn't clear. Something has happened. And this guy, we're talking about a guy doing millions and millions of dollars of business a month now. And it was an abnormally large income stream, and it didn't come through. But guess what he did? He already bought the supplies. He already made the plans. He's already deployed the trucks and the team. They're headed down to Texas to do the work, and the payment wasn't there. So you got to look at it. So that's defense. And then step number 5, which I get excited about as well, that's special teams. And special teams is where you want your client to feel special. You want your client to feel special. So the Mel K show, Mel, there are so many things that you and Rob do behind the scenes to try to make your show special. So I'm going to brag on Mel for a second. You go to the Mel K show. I do know podcasters that are great people, and they maybe don't have as much of a passion for their listeners as what Mel talks about off camera. But Mel, you're always like, how can I wow my listeners? How can I build a tighter relationship? How can I build a bond that's beyond just they hear my show? How can I connect? And so at the meet and greet events, and Rob, you saw this, Mel would go out there and shake hands with 1,000 people. I mean, Rob, am I exaggerating? Would Mel go out there?
100%. She had lines out the door, people hugging, crying.
Yep.
And she would sit there as long as it took, sometimes 3 or more hours before everyone cleared out. And then we'd go back to the hotel, and then there'd be more.
And that's why you see this newsletter here. This is kind of a way for you, if you're listening, you want to gain access to maybe intelligence drops or updates or facts or white papers or research or videos that no one else has. That's what Mel up here for. It's your way to kind of go behind the wall and to gain access to premium stuff. Givaderm, I know you guys do this all the time. I know people that kind of, they don't know that I work with you, but they know you through the Reawaken. And randomly, I'll get a text message from someone who's like, their packaging is awesome. And that is an unrelenting thing, Juliana. Even though your packaging is great, just like Steve Jobs, he wanted to make the packaging of Apple products so great that people wanted to keep it. Think about that.
Yeah.
People keep the packaging. That was Steve's goal. He said his goal, this is a Steve Jobs quote, and I know this because I interviewed Guy Kawasaki on my show, and Guy Kawasaki was the lead marketer for Steve Jobs for years. And Guy Kawasaki, he told me, he said, Steve actually said this in a meeting. He said, guys, I want our packaging to be so good that our customers keep it after they buy their Apple Watch or their Apple phone or their iPad or their iPod. I want it to be so good that people want to keep it and they don't know why. And you guys do the same thing, Juliana. Why is it that you're always trying to make the packaging, the branding, the smells, every aspect of it every week? Why do you try to make it 1 or 2% better? Why?
First impressions are everything. And I think that if you don't have something that unveils your product and actually does justice to it, then truly their whole experience will be diminished. And so we value so much the product itself that every layer and step away from that product matters, so that as they step into that product, it literally should be like a theater level experience. That's what we're going for, is like, oh, you have to preview, and then you got, oh, now you're at the movie. You're like, what? And so that's the point, is that like want to just move into it in a way that does it justice. And I think that, you know, your heart for your clients is off the charts. And I've seen you over there having your magic moment, watching like magic moments unfold for people, and you're just like in your element. You're like, this is,
You don't know that we watch you, Clay. You don't know that we watch you, but we do.
I've seen it. We went to your dinner at one point, and we were connecting with Vanessa, and I looked over and I saw your face, and you're like, it's happening. You're looking, you're like, it's happening.
Yeah.
And
Your heart shows. Your heart shows.
Yeah.
Well, I want to show you real quick what that looks like on camera so you can see one. This woman, this is her first time coming to one of our workshops, okay? So she went to thrivetimeshow.com. She probably used promo code MelK to get her tickets or something, okay?
There it is.
But watch this. She comes in, and she's not expecting this. She's just she's walking in. Watch her. And she's like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here.
There you go.
But, you know, we don't have to have a mariachi band that greets you at 6 a.m, but we do. And people say, why do you have it? We don't have to do helicopter rides, but we do. And people always say, well, why do you do it? It's because I'm trying to wow. So people walk in, they go, why are the mariachis here? Because it's unethical to not wow you. I mean, if I got to build a relationship with you, and these mariachi guys are like, what time is the gig tomorrow? And I go, well, the gig's going to be, just to be clear, you got to get here at 5:30. Like 5:30, playing the mariachis at 5:30. Some of our events are ending at 5:30. You know, look at Jorge here. Jorge probably stayed up all night. Look at Jorge. He's having, you know, but it's like we do that because Jorge was up pretty late last night. But, you know, and then let me show a different perspective. This is Bronson, who's now the 44th highest earning insurance agent in the nation. So this is him coming in to our event. And Bronson, he and his wife, their 7 kids, they've done so well as a family, as a business. But watch him. He's coming in. This is Bronson walking in. He's walking in. There's a line for the coffee. This is like 6 a.m, guys. Okay.
Yes.
Here he comes in. Look at it. He's fired up. The mariachis are playing. You know, and again, you don't have to have the mariachis. You don't have to do helicopter rides. You don't have to have ice sculptures. You don't have to have, but we do, because we want to create an environment where we wow you. So if you're watching today's show, you say, Clay, what are my 3 calls to action? Call to action number 1. If you don't hate yourself, and I know you don't hate yourself because you're a smart person, you're a proactive person, you're a positive person, you want to save this country and you want to make your life great because God's given you this life and you view every single day as a gift. I want you to go to the Mel K Show and subscribe to that thing. Come on, what are you doing? Subscribe to that thing. We got to hit 200,000 subscribers today, or I'm a bad guest. Go to the Mel K Show on rumble.com. Hit subscribe. Next thing, if you like your epidermis, guys, Christmas is around the corner. If you don't hate your skin, go to giveaderm.com. If your epidermis is making you slightly nervous, if you got chafing, something weird's going on, go to giveaderm.com. If you've got a mom, if you are a mom, you've got kids, you want to have kids, if you were a kid, go to giveaderm.com. Buy something as a gift. These are non-deep state people. They love this country. They don't add any weird crap to their the actual products are good products. They don't add any weird genetically engineered, genetically modified
Right.
crap into the product. That's
Yeah.
givaderm.com, and use promo code MELK. It supports this great
Yes.
broadcast and
100%.
podcast. And then next, if you want to learn more about our upcoming workshops, we have Tulsa, Oklahoma, coming up September 25 and 26. 7 tickets remaining. You can claim those tickets, get those tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. Use promo code MELK, thrivetimeshow.com. Amanda Grace, Mel K, Dr. Stella, Emmanuel, Eric Trump. It's going to be a blasty blast. And we just announced it this morning, but we are taking the business conference to Anaheim, California. December. You want to make this December one to
Awesome.
remember. You want to be in warm weather amidst the holidays, and I know you do. Anaheim, California. It's about 30 minutes from the beach. Unbelievable weather. It's a great place to be. So you can get those tickets, thrivetimeshow.com. Now, again, only 700 tickets get sold to this. Only 700. So it's not like you have 7,000 like some of the Reawaken events. This is a smaller venue. 700 tickets, world-class audio, visual. Tickets are $250 or whatever price you want to pay for the general admission tickets. And we have VIPs for $500. And if you use promo code MELK, you have a chance to win a backstage pass. You also get a discount off of tickets. So I know it's a lot of information. We covered a lot of ground on today's show, but I could not be more fired up for today's guests because they're doing that thing. They're actually turning their dream into reality. They're making it happen. I encourage everybody, check out Givaderm, use promo code MELK.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
well,
guys.
thank you so much, ladies. Thank you
you.
so much, Clay, as always.
Thank
You have
you.
helped us so
Thank you.
much. We are so excited for the event in September and now in December. And what I'm telling everyone is you need to decide your own future. And that means taking control, stepping up. Action is everything. We have a country to save, but you yourself have to be your own hero. Thank you so much, everyone, for
you.
joining us. Thank you,
Thank you,
Givaderm
guys.
ladies.
Thank you
And
so
also,
much.
please know, everyone that asked me about my skin, this is 6 months nonstop of Givaderm.
Look how
And it
beautiful.
really has changed everything for my skin and all of us. Rob too. I mean, every day things get
you both look great.
dry skin patches I've had my whole life are gone. It's amazing. And Clay Clark, always the best of the best. I love you so. And we love you all. So thank you so much.
You.
Support
Love
your
you
good
guys.
people.
Thank you.
Don't
Thank you.
hesitate to sign up with Clay. Do not hesitate.
Gotta do it.
Gotta do it.
Yeah, exactly.
We
We'll
love
see
you
everyone
guys.
in September. Thank you,
Sounds
Clay and
great.
ladies.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
y'all.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy
I
in there.
ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
4,000% from February to February. Now I can better that. Okay, Clay, I don't think you know this. I don't think you know this. I'm pinching myself, and if I cry, forgive me. In the last 2.5 days, we have bettered our entire month of February in the last 2.5 days. So, and the phone's blowing up. Everything's just blowing up. You're right. It is like a rocket ship. So we're pinching ourselves, actually.
I learned at the academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
But I recognized at the age of 15, I'm going, you know what? I am not going to live that way. And so I started a company out of my parents' basement called DJconnection.com. And I decided I am going to have success. And so I reached out to millionaires and people that I kind of knew through church and friendships and parents of my friends. And I said, what book would you recommend that I read? I'm a 15-year-old asking this question. True story. And I kept being told, you got to read.
Hello, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Radio Show. It's an exciting time. Also, I think a treacherous time, a spooky time also. But it's always, danger is a good time. Today, my guest is Clay Clark, and I went out with Tom Wheelwright to visit Clay with Eric Trump also. And the reason I want to talk to Clay this morning is a very important subject called study. And the reason I say that is things are changing so fast, and many people are completely missing the show. Things are changing at rapid speed. Technology is changing. And so I went to Tulsa, again with Tom Wheelwright and Eric Trump. And the thing I was so impressed about Clay is this word called study. I don't know. You guys must be in your water or something, Clay. But boy, I was so impressed how big you guys are. But what really impressed me was you have this huge congregation. They're all about guys your age. They're on fire. And you start your classes at 5 in the morning. Now, let me talk to you about study here. We show our books here. Now, this is how I study. You know, this is the creature from Jekyll Island. It's on the Fed. And Clay's doing the same thing. We study. So I go out to Clay's place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's built this huge compound out there. And you guys start at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not by Zoom. They drive there. They show up 5 o'clock, bright-haired, bushy-tailed, and all this. And they're on fire. Your group is on fire. So that's what was on Clay, this technology you tell your group. I was so impressed because, like I said, studies became a bad word. I got into fights in my own company because our staff didn't want to study anymore. And I don't know how they cannot do that. So Clay, anyway, welcome to the Rich Dad Radio Show. That's what I want to talk to you about is how do you do it? 5 o'clock in the morning, you have hundreds of people showing up in your huge auditorium on your property to study. Anyway, welcome to the show, Clay. And what turns you on so much? That's what I want to know. Give us a little about your background.
My name is Karime Schofield, and the name of our company is Whistle While You Clean.
I am Sophia Schofield.
We live in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we service the tri-state, so Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana.
We were getting a phone call, and we were like, why is someone calling our business line? That's unusual, and we picked it up, and it was a lead.
I mean, it's been incredible, Clay. We've gone from 0 to like 100% growth. Like we're like a full functioning company. It's great. Like we're blown away at how well we're doing. So working with you guys have really taught us a lot about generating leads and pursuing our Dream 100. So we have a list of customers that we want to market to. And so we've been making phone calls, we've been showing up in person. We're trying to get near the businesses that they would visit if they were visiting like a hair salon or something. And then we start calling them and we just start pursuing them. And then the other thing that we do is when we do cleans, we take a lot of video testimonials and we post those to our website so other customers can see. And then we also upload a lot of images of the things that we do. And so we're also asking our clients for Google reviews after we've cleaned their houses. And so it's this constant like cycle of doing those things over and over and over again. I would say if you're on the fence, go to one of Clay's conferences. They are hilarious. They're fun. They're educational. They're so good that even my teenagers like them. And I would say don't let fear hold you back. If you want to start a business, do the obvious thing and hire someone who knows how to run businesses. If I wanted to get in shape, I'd hire a gym person, a personal trainer. This is like the personal training for business. It has been absolutely amazing. I mean, our coach is encouraging. When he first met with us, he said, do we want him to be like a drill sergeant with us? What level of intensity do we want him to give us? And I will say he is incredibly encouraging all the time. And he just hits the same mark with us every single time. It's very repetitive. But I think we both really learn a lot every time we sit down and have a conversation with him over the phone. He keeps pushing us to go further, and he can recognize when we're afraid to do something and he'll give us a little bit of grace, but that next week he's drilling us again, like pushing us to go harder. Our no-brainer offer is we are offering your first clean for $1. And that sounds absolutely insane. It even sounded insane when I was talking over it with our business coach. And I will tell you that has generated some of our hugest clients. I mean, that has been like a game changer because it opened up the door to more clients, more recommendations, more leads. And we were surprised how far that dollar clean got us.
How important has it been for you to work out that scripting, even though you offer $1 for the first clean? How important has it been for you to nail that down?
It's been really important because it kind of it hones in so that you're not just all over the place when you're trying to explain what it is that you do. And a lot of times it's like you're a good person offering a good product and you have integrity and you want to communicate that. But when you go to communicate without a script or without practice, it's just like a mess coming out of your mouth, as opposed to having this, honed in practice where you know what you're going to say, you know how you're going to say it, and you can almost expect better results when you do it that way.
Had you ever been an entrepreneur before starting this particular business?
No, never.
Did you ever think about wanting to own your own business someday? Or what was the first time you thought, maybe I would like to open my own business?
Absolutely. I've probably been dreaming about it for about 10 years.
Okay, and let me go to your daughter here. Had you ever thought about wanting to team up and open your own business, or was that something that you were maybe excited about, or not so much?
Well, for me, my parents would always listen to your podcast and business podcast. And as I started listening to them, I started realizing that I wanted to own a business.
It's www.whistlewhileyouclean.com. Honestly, the hardest thing was getting over the fear. It was the fear of the unknown. There was like a cloud of doubt that, you can't do this, you're gonna fail. There was a few sleepless nights there when we did pull the trigger and join your team and start the coaching process. Even my husband put a little bit of pressure on me from time to time because it was just absolutely scary to take that jump and actually start a business.
Whoa,